Hey guys, welcome to another episode of my Project 2000 series. Today we're going to perhaps look at the single most important thing in beginner chess and how to prevent blunders. That is probably solely the only reason how I got to, well, at least 1600. It's actually very simple, and hopefully this is going to be the video that's going to be very good for you in your chess journey, because it's obviously one of the things that taught me very well how to proceed with my rating and improve in chess. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay guys, in the first section of this video, I wanted to talk to you about what is a blunder. And it might seem obvious to most chess players, but it really isn't. And that makes chess so difficult, of course. What we're going to do is we're going to simply take a look at a few different puzzles, positions, games I've played, all sorts of stuff along the past months that have happened. And I'm going to talk to you about the different levels of blunders there are in chess games. Like, it begins with like very basic beginner blunders and it goes up and up. But every single one of these is a direct blunder that has a direct consequence on the outcome of the game. And obviously if you play an engine, the engine always knows exactly how to punish that, right? The engine knows precisely how to take advantage of it the best way. If you play a human, it's not always being punished, but still they are blunders. They are literal mistakes. So I have the first one here, which is actually very simple. This one was played, I think this was like the first or the second game I played in the Road to 2000. And I think it was the second. And my opponent here played Bishop a5, which is the easiest form of a blunder there is in chess. This is the easiest way to blunder. It's just you move a piece to a square where the piece can simply be taken. It's a one move blunder. The only thing I have to do is take with my queen, and it's a free piece. So if you're above 500, probably maybe 800, this won't happen. This won't happen as much anymore. Maybe it still happens around like 1000 to 1200. It's very often, or not very often, but very low amount of times. I can't figure out the word, but that's no problem. So it doesn't happen very often. And so this is the simplest form of a blunder. It's just you move a piece and I can simply take it. That's easier than this and doesn't get. How do you prevent things like this? I mean, it's a little bit experience, but it's also realizing that in chess, every piece you move, you have to realize what can my opponent do, right? You have to know, okay, what is the plan for my opponent? And if you play a move like Bishop a5, you have to just simply think, okay, wait, but that is just attacked and it's not defended. There's another piece that is defended. So yeah, that is basically how you can stop that. It's a very basic concept, but it's still important to know. Then we have this position, which is a game that I played a couple of weeks after. Here I was rated 970, so probably 1 or 2 weeks later than the previous game. I skipped through the first 40 games or so without a loss, of course. But yeah, here this is a position in which I'm threatening to make a move that attacks something, and there really is not a whole lot of things you can get out. I mean, there are some ways you can get out of it, but I think the only real good way is probably Bishop c5. Let me quickly analyze that. Yeah, Bishop c5 is the only real way you can immediately get out of this. So first of all, if you look at a position like this, what is the first thing that you notice, right? If you are playing here with black, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Well, also if you're playing with white, but the first thing that should come to mind is if I play anything here, there's a fork. That is the first thing that should come to mind in order for you to realize, okay, I'm about to, there is a threat here, right? There's a threat. It's all about threats in chess, right? So in this particular situation, you have to already realize, okay, there is going to be a fork if I don't stop it, right? If you don't realize there's going to be a fork, you're never going to be able to stop the threat. The only way you're going to stop the tactic or the blunder is if you know it's going to be coming, right? So yeah, I mean, that's basically it. You need to do something about these two pieces, and my opponent did. My opponent thought, okay, yeah, I need to do something about those two pieces, but my opponent moved the wrong piece. My opponent played knight b1, and this is still a major blunder. The reason why this is a blunder is because it's no longer a fork, but your bishop is trapped, right? You don't have any move for your bishop. So very instructive. I mean, if you are around this rating level, right? If you're around 900, 1000, and you see the threat coming, but you still manage to play the wrong move, it is not that you're not seeing what's going to happen. You're not experienced enough to realize that you need to do it in a different way. So if you found the fact that b4 is going to be a fork, and you decided that knight b1 is the wrong move, you are very close to being better. You're really, really very close to becoming a better chess player, but you just need to be a little bit more precise, right? You need to be a little bit more concrete in your thought process. You need to think, okay, I go knight b1, there's no fork anymore, but what does my opponent do after that, right? What is the next move? It's still going to be b4, and I still don't really have a way to save the bishop. That's why you need to go bishop c5. This is the only way to stop the fork. Now if I go here, you can go here. And this is fine. Well, it's not fine, but it's better. It's also probably some knight a4 or something. Okay, so that's that one. Very instructive, I think. And here we have another one, which is also very instructive. This is like a puzzle or custom position. I didn't play this game, but this is also a very instructive way on blunders, right? I mean, white is the move here, and I don't really know what the last move from black was, but let's say last move from black was like knight f6 from d7. This is also a major blunder, right? If he plays knight d7 to knight f6, that would be a major blunder. And why is it a major blunder? It's once again, you have to notice the threat of your opponent. You have to know, what is my opponent going to do that's going to cause trouble? Well, it's very simple. You can see this pawn, you can see these two pieces. If you can get rid of the knight and at the same time push this pawn, or after get rid of the knight, you're simply going to win material. So the move here is knight f6. It's very simple. It's actually very simple. If you understand it, it's very simple, because if you take to the queen, there's just this, and he's just attacking. You're attacking two pieces with a pawn that is protected. So yeah, it is obviously all of this in chess, all of the situations we see here today, it's all because you need to realize the threat, right? It's becoming more aware of what your opponent's plan is and how to stop it, and also making plans of your own, etc. But that's a different video. But in this particular situation, we just want to prevent blunders. We need to realize, okay, what is my opponent planning? How can I prevent that? And how do I stop blunders? It's all about detecting blunders in your head, right? Processing the blunders. A lot of you might also consider bishop g5 here, but the reason bishop g5 isn't as good is because you can take here. So you have to realize, obviously, all of this in chess, it's always a reaction. Like if you do one thing, the opponent's going to do another thing, right? This is a very good move if you would have played this, for example. Because now this is just very good. Actually, it's almost mate, because you can get in with your queen and you're going to win. And even better, if you move the rook, there's still the fork. So, you know. So yeah, forcing lines. Also a very important tip I can give you here. If you want to get better at chess, if you really want to improve, you need to understand that in chess you always need to look at the best forcing line. You need to look at what is the sequence of moves that is the strongest and is forcing my opponent to react in a certain way, which is positive for me. That is exactly the way you should look at chess. You need to always think, okay, I need to know the best forcing line. That's why grandmasters, etc., they are so good. They have so much experience in a lot of positions. Even if you give them like a static FEN and they just have to see the position, it's like middle game. They almost always already know the proper plans. They immediately in their head get, okay, I need to do something with this pawn, I need to do such and so. They immediately get like a spider's tingling, like a sense of knowing exactly where to push and pull, right? And that particular feeling, and also that is also sometimes has to be extended with proper calculation. Of course, it's not always a feeling. You need to also be aware that sometimes it doesn't work. But you know, that's basically it. It's all about realizing where the weaknesses are and taking advantage. So here is another beautiful example. This one is also a game I played. 1146 I was here, so probably 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks into my journey of 2000. And here my opponent long castled, which is a major blunder. And this is a pretty difficult way. I mean, it's not immediately clear why this is such a big blunder. But it really is. Because the reason it is because the queen here is very, very misplaced. And it's a funny blunder. It's also very difficult. I mean, you can pause the video here, try to find out why this is a blunder yourself. Why is this so bad? It's not immediately obvious, and I also don't think it is something that an 8,000 rated player should know. It's probably a little bit more towards the 16 to 1800 range. In terms of complexity, but the reason this is a blunder is because we first play a b4, and as you can see, there aren't a lot of squares for the enemy queen to go. You can go here, here, or you can go here, but this loses a queen. Okay, so you can go actually to 4 place. You can also take, but you know, the good squares which don't immediately lose are these two, and there's actually one that immediately loses still, because this and this is a fork. So taking advantage of the fact that that is a fork allows me after b5 to go c4. And this is a very nice tactic. The queen is simply trapped. I mean, you can't go here, here. You can't go here, 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 or here. So where do you go? If you go here, there's a fork. And if you take on c4, there's the same fork. So I can forcefully, right, once more, forcefully, I can punish my opponent for long castling, and I can force him with b4 and c4 into a losing position. That is why you always, like, when you approach a position like this, you always have to see, okay, what is the most valuable piece? The queen, right? How can I attack the queen, right? What can I do to attack the queen? Here I can play b4, okay, but what happens after? You need to calculate in your head, okay, b4, queen b5, c4, okay, queen c4, okay, knight b6 or knight b6. It's just it's a matter of getting your priorities in order. And the priority of attacking the queen, the most valuable piece, is a very good one to have. So that is a very important thing to realize. A nice one. Let's go to the next one. Here, this is a situation in which my opponent made a blunder, which is also can be difficult to see if you're at like 1,000 or 1,200. It's actually something that is, I think, also very instructive, because it's very difficult to see why this is a blunder. So my opponent here played the move queen g5. Hands down, my opponent thought, okay, here, and maybe check here, and like here, right? This is what my opponent probably saw. And my opponent was like, okay, this is a good position, right now, and just equal. I can take, you know, and it's probably something that like this went into his head. Maybe not even a check, maybe this immediately, which is also probably completely fine. However, if you play a move like queen g5, I think I explained in a previous video that when you are in check, there are multiple ways to get out of check, right? There are a few different ways to get out of check. One is to move your king. One is to intercept with a piece, right? And the third is to take the attacking piece. And in this situation, I can simply stop the check by moving my piece that was attacked, right? I can simply go bishop e3, and I am attacking the queen. You cannot take anymore because it's defended. There's no check anymore. It's just it's a blunder, right? It's a blunder. So yeah, yeah. What can I say? I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but it's very important to realize that when you play a move like queen g5, you have to realize, okay, what are my opponent's opportunities? What are my opponent's ways of blocking the check? What are my opponent's ways of getting rid of the check? Right? There's multiple ways, but one that you miss often, which is just bishop e3, and it's just a blunder. So yeah. Okay, the last one. This one is very fun. Okay, so this one is, let me actually put on the analysis lines here for this one. I hope they work. It seems like they don't. Let me see this one. Yeah. So yeah, this one is fun. The reason this one is fun is because it's very insane actually to see what is going on here, right? So in this position, this is a study made by Gorgiev. I don't know. Somebody made this study, which is just a pre-composed situation that we are going to look at. And in this particular situation, black played bishop f3, and at first glance, you're probably like, I'm gonna take that back, right? I'm gonna take it. Why not, you know? But this is actually just a draw. And why is this a draw? Because there's something better. And now it becomes a very crazy sequence. It's king b4 first, and the reason king b4 is because whatever, if you go anywhere, for example, if let's say you want to attack this bishop, Now there's simply rook g1, oops, no, not rook h1, rook g1, attacking the bishop again. Let's say you try to defend this. Now there is, I see rook d1 is now the move. Putting tempo on the bishop again. So, and if the bishop moves back, what do? We probably go bishop c4. Yeah, okay, so yeah, you can save the knight. Okay, I'm getting a little bit sidetracked here, but the idea of this puzzle and the idea of this study is that it's all about tempo, right? It's all about making threats, and here you're threatening to take the knight, and if the opponent tries to get out of it, you are always going to be able to restrict the knight from moving away while posing a threat on the bishop. So that's the idea here. So what does the opponent do? The opponent plays knight d4, and the opponent is probably here at this point. The opponent is probably like, you dummy, why didn't you take the free bishop? And in that sense, we go king c3 because we still want to put tempo on the knight. And now if the knight moves, we are able to take the bishop. So in this particular situation, the opponent played bishop e2, which is a fine move because now once again you're putting extra pressure on the rook. And if this and this happens, it's just a draw. You can never win with a king and a bishop. So what do? Well, you play a bishop xe2, and now knight xe2, and now the beautiful part, king d3, and now knight g3. And here I wanted to, like this part of the puzzle is really beautiful because by moving your king down down the board and threatening the knight each time, you get yourself in a situation in which you are trapping the knight. So here it's knight g3, and look at how the knight has 0 other moves. It cannot go here, 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 or here, because it's all defended, right? It's all defended by every piece. So the only move is this, and then after knight g3, you play rook f3. And now, once again, there isn't a lot of things you can do. You can go here or here. If you go here, I think you're just completely boxed in. So it's just walking down and taking the knight probably. So the opponent goes here. And now the beautiful last move, this one, which is once again, it's a trap of the knight. If you go back, I think what you do is rook f3, and it probably says repeat. Okay, knight h1. So here, probably wants to rook f5. It's interesting to see what happens after rook g5 is then the move last. Okay. And here it's the same thing. You just trap the knight. Yeah, the point of this puzzle is it's a very difficult puzzle. You don't have to remember any of it. At the end, the opponent played knight g7, trying to save the knight, but that leaves checkmate in 1. You don't have to remember any of this, but the point of this particular study is that this move is a blunder. The point is, this is a blunder. Nobody ever suspected this to be a blunder. Nobody. It's almost impossible to realize that this is a blunder. And that's exactly my point. Like even if you play a game at a very high level, there's still going to be blunders. There's always going to be blunders. Even at the highest level in chess, there's going to be blunders. But the blunders get more difficult to see. It gets more increasingly difficult to see. So you can never completely stop blundering, but you can increase the way you handle the easy blunders, right? The better to see and the easier to know blunders. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, that's the ending of this section. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm trying to process and trying to say to you here. Okay guys, now we're just going to simply play a 3-minute unrated game on my playthrough account. It's about 175 to 600 elo range. So yeah, let's see if we can find someone, and hopefully this is going to be instructive. I'm just going to talk you through all the things that I think about during such a game. Okay, we managed to find someone. Let's see what we can do. We're playing with the black pieces. I don't really know what my opponent's rating is here, so yeah, let's just see. We're playing 3-0, so we don't have any extra time, so we're just going to move. We're going to move pieces relatively quickly. And yeah. Okay, my opponent goes here, which is a move. Should be fine. But this immediately already is a blunder. And the reason this is a blunder is because it hangs a pawn. So yeah, I mean, this immediately, and obviously you need to think relatively quickly about these things, right? In order for you to realize that they're a blunder. So you need speed. You need to get speed inside of your calculation. But yeah, if I look at a position like this, if the move e4 immediately strikes me as unique, right? As I probably never faced this before in my life, and the reason I immediately start scanning is because I haven't seen it in my life before, right? The more chess you play, the more you learn that certain openings are there for a reason. And the more you realize that, hey, maybe if he plays e4, it's a mistake. And you can just see, okay, I can take, and then take, right? Because my bishop is now covering this square and my queen is going here. A little bit complex, but at the same time, you can immediately realize that it's a blunder. So yeah, that's basically it. I mean, that's chess, right? Yeah, and I was suspecting my opponent he was going to move the knight. Also, one thing that beginners do a lot is they have a piece which is protected, which has no real reason to move. They move it, right? They do that because I think they just, feel like they should. He does pose a little bit of a threat because this pawn is attacked. But yeah, I can just move the pawn. And now he probably needs to move back or something. He goes here, which is another blunder. The reason this is a blunder is because it's just a piece in one move, right? I mean, like we discussed before, this is the most basic blunder you can make. Yeah, I expected my opponent to resign at some point. I mean, that's what's going on. But it's already, I think it's already quite instructive. Maybe I play one more, but as you can see, this is just, I mean, my opponent was rated 367. I mean, it's to be expected that you're going to make mistakes at that level. Of course, it's not a bad thing. But yeah, it's just very straightforward. I mean, I take here, he takes back, I take here, he takes here, and the d4 pawn is unprotected. I win a pawn. And at this point, I won only one pawn, but I'm already up plus or minus 2.49. So I'm already in a winning position because his knight is under attack. If you trade here, I mean, my bishop gets activity. I can castle quickly. I can put my bishop out. It's just e4 is a mistake. And the better you get, the more you start realizing that minor things like that are already a mistake. And then a few moves later, my opponent simply forgot to move his knight, which is also a thing that beginners do a lot. If you go here, it's still fine-ish. It's not good, of course, for white, but yeah, that's basically it. Let's try to find one more opponent here. Okay, we found the exact same opponent. I'm not sure if he's gonna play. Maybe he is. Yeah, okay, he is. Okay, let's see. We found the exact same guy. I probably were the only two people playing unrated games at this level, but okay, doesn't matter. Okay, so now he goes for Scandinavian. Sure, fine. Let's see if we can trick him with the famous... okay, yeah, he goes here. Yeah, I'd like to go here. Sometimes they go like here or something, and then But this line of the Scandinavian is already a little bit dubious, and yeah. Yeah, the question is, what do I do here though? There, then he takes here, so I don't really like that, but then I have maybe this move. So it's always like, in chess it's always calculation, right? It's like, okay, I go d4, he takes, right? That's what he's gonna do. I can take like this, which defends everything. I can also take with the queen, then he takes here, then I can check here actually, and then I win this pawn maybe. So you always have to look for things to do, right? So I'm gonna play d4 just for content purposes. There are multiple. Okay, he doesn't even go there. He just goes here, which is also completely fine, of course. Yeah, let's go bishop here. Let's just develop a bishop. Like, nothing is going on here, right? There's not a problem. Now we can get a problem. If he plays a yeah, okay. So now there is a problem. So my opponent is blundering, right? Obviously that's what you expect at this rating range. But it's like, before you play a move like knight c6, like let's flip the board. Let's see, like if you are playing with black here, you have to realize that if you go here, there is something being attacked, right? There is something being attacked. And it's not being attacked once, it's being attacked twice. So I can just take here, right? You're not gonna take that back because my queen is protected. It's protecting. Yeah, or you are going to do that and you lose your queen. Which is probably the point he's gonna resign again. Yeah, yeah, okay. Nothing, like, I don't have any, like, let's play him again. Let's play him again. Let's do it again. One more. I think this is the last, so, right? So I don't have anything against my opponent here, and it's all unrated, so there's no rating points being lost. I'm just trying to demonstrate you guys how to play chess, right? How to know that you're going to win. My opponent does the exact same thing. I mean, this is obviously one of the things, like, if you are going to try and improve in chess, you don't do the same things twice, and especially not if it's a blunder. If it's good, you can do it again. If it's not good, don't do it again. right? If you're gonna blunder a pawn 2 games in a row, it's not good. Yeah, you can take now, but I mean, it doesn't change. You're already minus 2.5 here. You're already losing. So yeah, that's obviously you learn like this, right? You learn by doing, right? You learn by playing, and you're like, okay, but this is not good because of this and this. But you know, it's yeah, you need to learn the proper I would say etiquette, but that's not the word that I'm supposed to say. You need to learn the proper rules, right? Chess is about rules. Chess is about knowing when you can do something and when you can't. Okay, now my opponent is learning, right? This is exactly like we are watching someone learn in real time. I don't know how old this person is, or is he just starting out with chess or not, but we are watching someone learn in real time because he's doing things better than the last time, right? So that's good. I could have taken a pawn. Yeah, could have attacked the knight as well. Probably the best move, but you know. Now this is a blunder. This is a blunder because now if I go here, I'm attacking a rook and at the same time attacking a knight, right? It's in chess. It's all like you gotta how do you say it? You gotta look at where the most important things are, right? Okay, this was it. I'm not going to play this person anymore. I'm also going to end this video right here. But yeah, one more thing I wanted to tell you is that you need to, like if you're playing chess, you need to look at the part of the board where the action is happening, right? So every time you do something like e4, now you need to look in the center. You need to look, okay, what am I supposed to do in the center? Am I like the move your opponent plays, e4, it requires a response from you, right? It requires you to react to it. And yeah, this is just, once again, this is bad, right? He made the same mistake twice. And he's learning, right? Because b6, he plays knight a4, so he doesn't make the same mistake again of hanging the knight. So yeah, like I mentioned, my opponent here was just straight up learning. I mean, it's really interesting to see. This was already a good move, probably because I attacked the knight. He has to probably go knight c3 or something. But now this is just a major blunder again, because b1 allows me to take this with a fork, right? It's just a fork. You are attacking a piece of more of higher value. Let's say this was a knight. If we could exchange this with a knight, it wouldn't be a blunder. And the reason why is because if this would have been a knight, the knight would have gone to c3, or this knight would have come to c3, and then the knights are protecting each other, right? And then it's still losing a pawn, so it's still not good, but it's not the worst thing. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it, guys. I mean, yeah, that's chess. I hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully it's very instructive games like this. And yeah, I think if you watch a video like this, it already pinpoints to the exact things that beginners do wrong, and it already hopefully helps to look at chess in a little bit of a different way, because you need to look at it in a specific way in order for you to get better. Okay, hopefully this video has been helpful to you, and yeah, if you want to learn more, please look at the other videos in the Project 2000 series. It's a series that is all about getting you to 2000 ELO. It's about how can I improve in chess up until a certain point that I know what I'm doing, right? And then the rest will be self-explanatory. It will come from experience. See you guys in the next one. Bye.